So on your backs here, we're going to start with reclining reclining hand to toe pose. Sorry. We're going to go ahead and bring the right knee in, hook onto the big toe, and straighten the leg out. If it doesn't work out, like mine's a little bit tighter today, you can have a soft bend. Slowly it will get there. Maybe you need a little strap to hook onto your foot, and that helps too. But we're going to just hold it here for a couple of breaths. Recline it in, bring it inwards a little bit. Maybe it feels better just to straighten the leg and just kind of hook onto the leg with your palms without forcing it. And just breathe easy here. You come back to hooking that toe, bring the chest up a little bit here. Hold this for a couple of breaths. And lower back down. Start to bring this leg just a little bit closer to your forehead. And then slowly open it out to the side. We want to keep this left hip down the whole time. And just try and breathe easy here. Again, maybe it feels better to hook onto the leg instead. Maybe your fingertips are just getting sore hooking onto your toe. Just keep both hips open, left hip down. And just help ease the right leg open as far as it wants to go without forcing it. Trying to keep that leg as straight as you can. And slowly drawing it back up. Bend the knee as you draw it across the body, hooking on with the other hand, and then bring it across. It's not going to go very far unless we bring the hip up, so don't worry about how far across it's going. Just keep the hips down and just let the outside of the hip and the thigh stretch here. Again, you can always place the palm elsewhere. And bring the leg up, just do some micro circles going clockwise here. We're not making very deep, wide circles, we're just making very, very small ones to stay in that hip joint. And slowly bring the knee down, switching sides, bend the left knee in, hook onto the big toe, and straighten out if that feels good. Holding it here for a few breaths. Maybe the more you hold it, you focus on just slowly straightening out that knee, and then coming up, holding it for a few breaths here. Apparently they're doing landscaping outside. Perfect timing. Lower back down, play with the hand positions. If you switch your palms, instead of holding onto your toe, take the inner palm to the top of your thigh. If you bring your outer palm to your calf, you're going to want to start to open up. So to keep the leg nice and straight, you reach across with the opposite palm. And then here we're going to open out to the side. Again, keep the right hip down. And maybe release the toes. Just breathe easy here. Sorry about the background noise. I never know when they're doing landscaping outside. And we have 2 different properties, so I never know which one it is either. And coming across, bend that knee, hook on with the opposite palm. Keep the hips down. Try and breathe easy here. And bend the knee, coming across, and those circles going counterclockwise with this hip. Very, very small circles. And then bring the knee down. Bring both knees into the chest. Inhale here. And as you exhale all the air out, bring the knees in. Go ahead and draw the legs up, straighten them out. And then we don't want to go too deep because then we're going to come into the pelvic bone. But we want to have like a nice V, so we're working on the inner thigh here. And then coming up and moving with your breath up and down. Play with your foot position between pointing your toes and flexing your feet to see which one, you feel it more, which one works out for you today. And if you want to feel it on the outer thigh, you can cross the legs over as you come in and then move slowly back out. And just make sure you switch sides if you're crossing over. We're only going to do this a few more times, nice and slow. And get that stretch on the inner and outer thighs. And slowly bending the knees, coming in, taking that inhale, and exhale, squeeze. And you can go ahead and grab on the insides of the feet for a nice dead bug here, or you can hook onto the big toes and wiggle side to side for a nice happy baby. Slowly crossing, you can come up with your core if you'd like. And then we're going to do a nice full lotus here if you're feeling it today. And if you notice that the foot that's underneath, if you notice it's pulling too much, then that just means that we haven't worked these hips enough and they're feeling too tight and they're putting too much of the strain and the hold on the ankle versus holding the pose and squeezing the legs together with the hips. Want to, you can stay in this lotus as you play with coming onto your back and see if you can bring this lotus into your chest. And we're going to do a reclining half pigeon. And so straightening out the left leg, bringing the right leg in. If you prefer, you can bring the knee up to the ankle and then just hug both legs into the chest. For me, I feel a deeper stretch when I do it that way in the glute, so either or. Remember, the more you breathe here, try and exhale and soften the leg in just a little bit more, deepening the pose without force, just as much as the body allows the openness. Uncross, and again you can use your core to come up, and then we're going to switch sides here. This time bringing the right foot in and hold it here. Try and do the work with the legs, not with your ankles. Sorry, I've been using the tripod this week. I haven't had help, so I'm not even sure if this is getting fully into or not. So if it's not, I apologize. Again, if you'd like to hold this lotus to come to recline, slowly unhook the legs, straightening out the right, and half pigeon with the left. And again, you can keep the right leg straight, or you can bend it in and hold it here. Continue to breathe, soften the pose to mirror your breath. And slowly coming back out of it, we're going to open up the legs here, placing the bottoms of the feet together. Tucking the tailbone under, drawing that core down. Let's see if you have more openness for the hips to start to spread a little bit more here. Propping yourself on your elbows, we're going to bring the legs out a little bit wider and just start to lean forward, see if we can make contact with the forehead down to the feet. I'm going to slowly come out of it. I don't want you to hold that pose too long because it is a knee stressor there, especially on the inner part of the knee. But yeah, that's it. We're going to straighten out, stretch out here, and you are done opening up your hips today. The more often you do that, the more you're going to have that looseness and that flexibility and that space, and you'll notice that it will actually start to shift your mood to not have that tension in your lower body anymore. So hopefully you enjoyed and have fun playing around with it. Namaste.